Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of Galactic Reviews, where this time we are talking about the new King of the Month dethroning of Snow Off-White with Jason Statham's The Working Man. This one will probably be shorter. I don't think there's too much to talk about with this one. These movies are pretty cut and dry, unless we get into arguments on the semantics. This one, I will have to say, I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10. It's just another cookie cutter Jason Statham, where the whole draw is we're gonna watch him punch people, and we're gonna watch him punch people really hard and really good. My issues with this movie essentially was just like a watered down, not as good Liam Neeson Taken. The plot was very similar, except he wasn't the exact father. Same issue as the Beekeeper, where this dude just didn't take any damage the whole time, going up against a dozen plus people. He was fighting stormtroopers with
Yeah,
how bad their aim was. Other than just like small issues of like the plot just not being as good as like Taken was, for the exact same kind of movie. It's still a ton of fun to watch. It makes up for it with how cool the fight sequences are. And it's just fun to watch. It is just overall fun to watch these movies. So enjoyment wise, quite high. Overall, like plot hole wise, and I guess realistic ability or realism level, in comparison with other movies that fit within the same plot, much lower. Characters were very two-dimensional. Enjoyment quite high. These movies are always fun to watch. Analysis wise, like the daughter character was way too bold when she should have been traumatized. Jason Statham just never took a single bit of damage. Stuff like that. The tech that he had in the very beginning, like they don't let you just walk away from the military with that kind of tech. I mean, and I guess you can surmise he got it from his buddy who loves it, but like like the iPad with like the super zoom in and the tracking device. I'm like, where'd you get that? You're a construction man now. They don't just like let you walk away from special forces with the tech. Other than that, the enjoyment was quite high. I enjoyed it.
I also enjoyed it. I'll probably be giving this an 8 out of 10. Yeah, there are some I guess you could say plot holes. He never got injured, even though he probably should have at least once or twice. I
Hmm.
get now, I guess my argument for that could be that a lot of the combat that he got in was like close quarters combat.
Hmm.
So it would have been hard for shooting. And when he was shooting, he was sort of the guy that was knew where they were, what he was looking for, and he was looking for them. They weren't looking exactly for him in most of those scenarios. So I mean, I kind of get it, but he also, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I also could see it. It didn't seem too out of place, if that makes sense.
I mean, even in like John Wick, he like will get stabbed or will get hit and
Yeah,
have to recover.
you know,
The
I get
only
it.
time he seemed to maybe take damage is when the other guy, the big other former military guy, threw him against the wall, but that didn't really seem to matter too much.
No,
That was
I
about
get
it.
it. He should have gotten injured in some way. I don't think he would have gotten shot, maybe stabbed or something.
I mean, he walked into a room with a bunch of guys with machine guns, and they knew he was coming.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that takes away from the enjoyment of the movie. I'm just like, well, as far as well-written action movies, this is not a well-written movie. This is just a brain turn off fun. We're gonna watch a guy demolish an entire mafia.
Yeah. That's mainly towards the end though, when you're wanting him to survive in order to rescue the girl, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah, no, they could have done that. They could have done that better. Yeah, no, I can't argue with that. As much as I would like to.
No, it
Um,
doesn't take away from the enjoyment. Like the enjoyment's still there.
yeah. Oh yeah, I enjoyed this movie a lot. So I know this is based off a book series that is done.
I
There's
did
like
hear
a
about
book
that. Yeah,
series.
I didn't
So
know the
like
series.
this
That
is the
is the.
first book, and there's like I think maybe 14 or 15 more. So
Hmm.
I don't know if they'll do another one or not. So I could see them doing a sequel, but I kind of don't care either way. This is just a fun little one off, and if they do more, I'd want them to keep doing them this way, if that makes sense. Or I like them to be stay enjoyable, not try to get too in depth with the characters. Like you can still grow them, but just try not to go
Yeah,
too
yeah.
in depth.
I think the other thing that the one thing that I did not enjoy was I think her name is Jenny, the kidnapped girl. Her
Yeah.
character was just annoying the whole time. Like you are kidnapped and trafficked. You should be traumatized. Even like the moments like I'm like good on you, like you're trying to escape, taking your life back. Like, yeah, Spitfire. Like I'm glad she's not just laying down and rolling over and dying. But like being this Spitfire the whole time, like flashing middle fingers as she's leaving, I'm like, you should be traumatized. You should be shell shocked. You are a
Yeah.
trafficking victim.
Yeah.
You do not come out of that just being like, dang, guess I won't go out that much anymore.
Well, I mean, they probably could have shown, if there was like a little maybe like 10-minute epilogue kind of thing,
Hmm.
they maybe would have shown that where she was hesitant to go out with people and
I
stuff.
mean, just like during the whole trafficking thing, she was just like mean mugging them and like these guys could and will kill you if they
Yeah.
just feel like it.
I don't know. Well, to be fair, they didn't really show us, they didn't really show the kidnappers like breaking her down to the point where she was like completely going along with everything. Does that
Yeah.
make
I
sense?
mean, you don't need to. You're
No,
being
but
trafficked.
it would have helped.
I guess, yeah. Just her character's reaction to everything was very unrealistic. I would have liked to see more details about the how the grandfather, or I guess the father-in-law, felt about him after everything,
Yeah.
other than just like
So
a singular thank you. Like, are you
yeah,
taking him to court still?
I don't see they might if there was a well, since this is
Yeah.
a book series, they probably address it in the second book. But I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know.
Because that was a oh the other I think the one thing that I disliked really early on was just like the weird pacing in the beginning, where construction worker he's running these men. One of them gets jumped and they really don't address that at all. Like, oh, we it kind of ties in. Maybe he got messed up with the same Russian guys, but just like a look, this guy can fight was kind of what the intro was,
Yeah.
without any significance to anything else, the entire rest of the story, other than just to establish that, he has a combat past.
Yeah, I think that's all that scene really was for. They obviously could have helped set up the sort of, I guess, the traffic sort of set up the trafficking ring to a certain degree. I don't,
Mhm. It just felt weird how they paced it. I'm sure that was a difficult problem to have where the intro to him hunting them down was, I know your past. Like, I can tell what kind of man you are. Please help find my daughter. It would have been weird if they had nothing to hint at that at the beginning.
yeah, if they didn't show that scene, that would have made no sense.
Yeah, it just left me wondering if there was a smoother way to have done that.
I don't know if there would have been because of all the subplot stuff with him not with him trying to like be and not trying to be violent so he wouldn't be like in a bar like being tempted to get into a bar fight with like his daughters like
Yeah.
yeah, no, I don't know if there would have been any other better way to set that up. There probably could be, but I have to think about that for a while. But yeah, no, I haven't. I can't think of anything exact.
Yeah. I liked the detective stuff that he was doing in the beginning. That was cool.
Yeah,
Where most of the movie was really him just trying to track down and how
like
he was buying the drugs and infiltrating and getting his way up,
yeah,
and
trying to find his way up the food chain to see where
that
the
was
girl
cool.
was.
That was cool.
Yeah,
I did there was a lot of yeah, this was quite an enjoyable watch. And it definitely made up for a lot of kind of like the really moments with like brutality, just the sheer badassness
yeah,
of what was going on.
yeah. They did a good job with the violence in this. Like made the well, I guess the hand-to-hand fights believable.
Yeah,
So
none of the fights were unbelievable. Like, okay, this is inhumanly possible to pull this off.
yeah,
It was all pretty
save
good.
for him like being able to just get away kind of scot like with nothing more than like scratches and
Yeah.
like nothing like too detailed. But I
Hmm.
mean, it would have been
Yep.
cool to like have him like either show him getting shot in the armor or whatever, and then
Hmm.
like when he's getting into the on the bike, like check it, and like you obviously see like a very messed up bruise, but it didn't go through.
Yeah.
Like something along those lines would have been good to see. Like it's still taking a toll on him, and
Yeah,
it's not
added to
like
the
it's scot
stakes.
free.
I
But
never felt like he was in danger.
yeah, no, and that's to be fair, that's because it's kind of the main character.
Yeah.
So, and it's part of that also is because it's freaking Jason Statham,
Yeah.
like he's not going to be put in a movie and just be beat down like that.
Yeah. I wonder
So,
if he has something in his contract, kind of like Dwayne Johnson does. Do you know about that?
no.
Dwayne Johnson in his contract is not allowed to lose an on-screen fight. I don't know if
What?
that stipulates like ties, like,
That
oh, it's a stalemate, but he's not allowed to lose an on-screen fight.
that's stupid. What if he's the villain?
Then I guess he doesn't get into a super bad fight. It's one of those, I guess it might be one of those stalemate things where it's like I didn't lose, but you didn't like
That's dumb. That's
you didn't
limiting.
win, but I didn't lose.
That limits what he can be. That
Hmm.
limits what he can play. It really does. Because I mean, then you can't play the villain unless somebody just snipes you and you never really get a fight with the hero. Then that kind of just shortcuts everything. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
He's got enough money that he can do that, but that's dumb.
Yeah, his contract reportedly includes a clause that prevents his character from losing fights or taking too much damage on screen, aiming to maintain his tough guy image.
Yeah, I don't know if Jason Statham does that because I know I've definitely seen it.
I mean, this is all the AI generation, but this clause, along with similar clauses in the contract of other Fast and Furious actors like Vin Diesel and Jason Statham, has reportedly made fight scene choreography challenging.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay,
Well,
so it's also rumored that Jason Statham has these clauses. However, I guess the information is coming from their Fast and Furious contract information, so I don't know if this is a every movie thing.
yeah, I don't know. They might like, well, if they do more of these, which I have a feeling he might, just because they went from Beekeeper to this, and it's this roughly the same crew, it seems, to go
Hmm.
from Beekeeper to this.
I mean, it was the same
So
director, right?
yeah, same director and same main actor, and I think Sylvester Stallone worked on Beekeeper. Maybe I don't know if he was a producer, but I know at least David Ayer and Jason Statham are working a lot together, at least in these two more recent two movies.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he'll do another one with the same character going forward, but I could see him still doing another one of these things where it's a fight movie.
Oh yeah, this he like two movies in a row within the past 2 years,
Yeah,
2 or 3 years.
this is kind of
Yeah.
like his like he's gonna do this till like 2030 and then just stop and everybody's
Till
gonna wonder
he's
why.
80. It was kind of a cool little detail change that it wasn't his loved one, but it was the connection of having a daughter
Yeah,
in his already existing connection with Jenny.
yeah, and on top of that, they kind of somewhat give a good reasoning as to like, yeah, these guys have kind of like treated me like family, kind of giving me that second chance after I got out of the military. So
Yeah. It was kind of interesting that they were just like, yeah, he was in the British Army. No, we're not going to explain how he got to America. No, we're not going to explain how he's best friends with an American soldier, even
well,
though
I
there's
mean,
not
they
been
kind of
any
explain it.
wars.
They kind of explain it from like it kind of explains it, but it explains it like the beginning. What's it called? Like in the opening credits sort of scenes. You kind
Oh
of
yeah,
see all
yeah.
those little flashbacks and stuff. So it
Hmm.
seems like he was in a British company and his company was working with this American group. I want to say either Iraq, Afghanistan, something along those lines. It seems it showed him saving David Harbour's character.
I mean, his
Um,
character was cool. I liked him.
yeah, I liked a lot of the character. I didn't hate any character at all. Like, I probably want to get along with some of these characters with some characters, but I mean,
Well, but yeah, man, it's. I want to know how rich he came back after this because he took they paid him 50,000 with 20,000 for operating on top of that for if he needed any operating costs. And I don't know how much he spent because he had to go get a suit. He needed a rental, obviously food and stuff, maybe ammunition, some of the tech, I guess he might have went and bought. But he also like took all that drug money from that one place and then just threw it back at the guy. So I wonder if he actually kept any of that and how much of the money he was given was left over after he used it to buy a bunch of drugs.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, the thing about it is, I don't know if he actually took. Did it ever say whether or not he took the money or if he just?
They gave it, they handed it to him.
Yeah, but didn't he hand it back and
He
say?
did, yeah. So
So
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know if he went back and
You're
actually
right. I
said,
don't know.
"Hey, I'll
I
do
mean, if I
this."
was him, I would have kept some of that money. Not from the construction family, but like some of the Russian mob money. I
Yeah,
would have kept some of that just to be like, hey, I got a daughter that I'm in danger of losing custody of, so I'm gonna take some of this.
yeah. Well, I
There
don't
are
know how.
inherent risks with that, but yeah.
Yeah, and see, I don't know if he would have wanted to take that risk, especially if they know all that money, or like they know all the numbers for that money, and they can just kind of feed it through. I don't know how in depth their organization goes, and I'm pretty sure they didn't want to play that game. So
Yeah. Overall, just another one of those fun sit down, don't worry too much action flicks.
thank you guys for watching this episode of Galactic Reviews. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. And up next week, we will be watching a Minecraft story or movie, a Minecraft movie.
Yep.
So we'll see you next time on Galactic Reviews.